Okay, I suppose from an impact point of view, my personal development, it went through the roof. There was obviously an impact on the practice, which, as Andrew said, better caliber and maybe choice for us. Our clients have benefited from it. Businesses in Northern Ireland and cross-border have benefited, and certainly the economic development here in the Northwest, well, in Northern Ireland. But can I put it in context? Just left school at 16, no qualifications, married at 18, started a family at 21, and all of a sudden realized, well, grew up, I suppose, and realized I needed to do something for my family because I couldn't provide for them the way I would have liked to. So what I did was I set up a business, and I was doing fine, could manage most things, but the finance terrified me and the consequences of not getting it right. So in those days, and this is back in the 70s, I went to an accountant, plucked up the courage. There was no woman accountant in those days. And all I came out with was a bill for national insurance, nothing else. So I didn't know where to turn. Went to the local college to see if I could get a course at night. And from there, I went to university, got my degree, and from there went on and did my professional exams and became a chartered accountant, and that took me in a different direction. But the one thing that started it all off was the fact that during that time, there was people that believed in me, people that supported me and gave me the breaks that I needed. A married woman with children going to university back in early 80s was unheard of. And even as a professional firm, given a training contract, Pricewaterhouse, I will always be grateful for them. They give me that opportunity as well. So for that, I've always wanted to give back. And I also won't and didn't and haven't forgotten the worry that was there in terms of not doing it right. And for that, I've always supported business the whole way through. And, you can get a benefit for your practice, but if you don't have another reason other than raising your profile, it won't work. You have to have something else to give back to the community.
Okay, so our next one then is about profile, raising the profile. Implementing systems really that drive prospects to the practice in a leveraged way, producing video content and marketing, maybe running live seminars, but there are an abundance of different ways to raise the profile. The winner of this is Dawn McLaughlin. Well done, Dawn, over in Northern Ireland. And her practice growth expert is also Andrew. So over to you, Andrew. Let's hear from you why Dawn has won that award.
Thank you again, Shane, and congratulations to Dawn. And so based in Northern Ireland, something that people ought to be aware of as I talk through this story is on the border of Northern Ireland, Dawn has a lot of UK-based clients, but also Irish clients. So as well as having the January deadline, she's also got to deal with an October deadline. She's got two sets of deadlines. So those that worry about January, it is. Always been a respected accountant in the local area, but the last couple of years have really seen it lifted to another level. Coming off of a successful year as president of the local chamber, which is something that is much more important in Northern Ireland than it is around here. I mean, essentially, it's like being a quasi-councillor, rubbing shoulders with cabinet ministers, appearing on television and radio, and being the person to give key financial updates to the local business community. All of that it took up a lot of time, and obviously the practice had to keep running in the background whilst that's all going on. Now, straight off the back of that, Dawn's been was invited to apply on the board of Invest Northern Ireland. She had to go through an application process, interviews, and it got whittled down to the final 7, and eventually she was successful and was invited. She gets a formal invitation to serve from the Economy Minister. It's a very high-profile, prestigious role. And its mission is to help transform Northern Ireland into a globally competitive economy. So needless to say, with all this profile that Dawn has got, more and larger businesses are making their way to her door. So it kind of puts her in the luxurious position of being able to choose who she works with. But to be clear, Dawn didn't do this stuff for the profile. Dawn's always had a desire to help others. And she sought these roles out because she's passionate about her community and the local economy. And having been lucky enough to have certain people in the past help her out at key times of her life, it's been important to her that she gives back now as much as she can. And now she's got an ability to influence and even forge policy and economic development for the area. And that was the main driver as to why she did what she did. The increased profile and the consequences thereof has, of course, been a nice byproduct.